perfect person to answer this question. Is it hard to make a living being a musician?
I can't think of much harder thing to do. It's just a nutty business, first of all. And, I used to have managers and stuff and booking agents and all that. And you really have to. You can't succeed without a professional company. You know what I mean? I've seen guys that say, well, I'm going to write my own songs, and I'm going to play my own music, I'm going to produce my own records, I'm going to manage myself, I'm going to do the booking, and then they're kind of not very good at a whole bunch of things. And the best musicians are just the ones that do the music, let the business be done by a businessman. And I've gone every route. I've had a bunch of managers, and I just years ago, about 15 years ago, I quit the business pretty much, and I said, that's it. When you get to a certain age, you go, I'm not going to make a lot of money. I never made a lot of money, and I make a living doing this. And my thing is, people call me on the phone. My day job is I sit and my phone rings and they say, do you have October 15th open? And I say, yes, I do. Or no, I don't. And we do another, So it's just a matter of them filling my calendar. And when you get to my age, you know enough people where that just keeps going. I probably have 200 gigs. And some of them I don't play but once a year. But I play them once a year and they come up. I have enough work to where I'm working all the time, and it's mostly in different places. Like I'm somewhere different every weekend. And I'm just lucky that I achieved that name status to where when people say, well, let's get somebody to play at this festival or wherever, somebody goes, well, how about Hans Olson, And so I do no soliciting. I do no... In fact, I would have been out of this business because 15 years ago I said, I'm never going to call a club and ask for a gig. But I know a lot of agents that will call me and ask if I can do that gig. And I just say, okay. But I'm not promising anything. They ask me, do you got a big following? And I go, well, I'm doing 6 gigs a week. How big of a following? They don't follow me every night. I said, if your club is great, they might say, let's go see Hans at that club. It's up to you to have a club. I said, and my job is to come into a full nightclub and entertain them, not bring my people in with me. I said, that's what touring people do. And I stopped touring. But the whole thing is that I realized I wasn't going to make quite enough money to get by. And I live pretty simple and I don't need much money, but I thought, no, this isn't going to work. And I'm going to have to go to work somehow doing something else. But then I got a deal with these guys, a local record label, Fervor Records. And they said, we sell songs to TV and film. So now I have given them all of my songs. And they put them on TV shows. It's not a lot of money, but 4 times a year I get a check that gets me out of the hole. It gets me up level again. And then every 3 or 4 months I start saying, oh man, I just can't do this. And then I get another check. So that's been keeping me going for 10 years.
So you've been inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. You've received a New Times Magazine Lifetime Achievement Award. The Phoenix Magazine has named you one of the top 25 artists in Arizona. How does that feel?
Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing. I realized, awards are just, There was a guy once here named Ron Noah that started a music magazine. And he had an award show every year, and it was completely him. Bands that he had come in contact with. And he'd say, that's the best jazz band in town. And we all would go, no, they're not. And it was just, I said, and it was embarrassing to win an award from this guy. Because we all knew it was just him picking his favorite bands, And to this day, you get an award, who knows who voted for it or, what the criteria was, The 25, that 25 most influential musicians, what that award was from Phoenix Magazine. And I thought, well, I'll take that one. I had to have influenced a lot of people, in 50 years. There's kids that saw me when they were kids. that are now, retiring from the music business. And I meet them all the time, and they go, "Yeah, I heard you when I was young." And so that I like influencing people. Yeah. That's the best thing. But to be in the Blues Hall of Fame, I said, well, of course I'd be in that because there aren't that many guys, and I've been playing longer than if you play longer than everybody, you deserve an award. So,
have you had students in the past?
I've never been a teacher, and I learned this in Europe. They had this thing called the master class, where a lot of the big festivals would set up a thing where they'd have me come and just talk and talk about my technique and stuff, and then people could ask questions, and I said, I put together my own master class, and it's really cheap, and it's like 3 hours long, but I can tell you everything I know about music in about an hour and a half. I don't know that much. So I just say, all I can tell you is listen to the music and try to play along with it and find your own thing. And I said, but music-wise, I don't know a damn thing. So I said, I can tell you what I do know, and if it helps you, things are like cross-harping. That's the weirdest thing that people don't seem to know. And I play Lee Oskar harmonicas, and Lee Oskar says, if 90% of the harmonica players are playing an A harmonica when you're in the key of E, when the band is playing in the key of E, and 90% of the people are playing an A harmonica, doesn't that make it an E harmonica?
About you when you walk into a room, you got that certain something, you wear the best perfume. You got a way about you, I hope you'll be mine soon. You got a way about you when you're walking down the street. You got a way about you, I sure do think you're sweet. You got a way about you, I hope you'll be with me.
More blues on our Facebook and Twitter. Red, white, and blues. You're listening to Blues America, baby.
This is your source for blues talk, a little blues show from Arizona, Blues America. I'm in charge of this mess, your blues junkman and humble host, Drew Verbis. Here's what you need to know. Our website is bluesamerica.com, which has links to our Facebook and Twitter and information about today's programming, including full playset. Additionally, show your blues pride by purchasing an exclusive and vintage Blues America t-shirt for a limited time only. Your contribution may just help to keep the lights on. Email any requests or complaints to our backdoor office at bluesamerica@gmail.com. Be a true patriot. Support this veteran-owned station, Blues America. You're listening to Blues America. I'm that guy, Drew Verbis.
Have blues will travel. We'll travel. More Blues America next week.
Blues America.
The star of the show, today's special guest, Hans Olson, will be right back. He talks about Chico Chisholm and his future. More blues on our website at bluesamerica.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. The top of the hour, Top 5, is coming up next after this quick break. Keep it right here. This is Blues America.
Wait a minute, Big Mama. Blues America will be right back.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel over a mile, carrying a world of trouble. It can land, ignite, and destroy your home and community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens before it does. With simple things like clearing areas around buildings, knowing community safe zones, and being prepared for wildfires, you could keep this from turning into this. Your home is better protected from wildfire when your whole community is prepared. Visit fireadapted.org for more tips on how to get started adapting your home and community to wildfires. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Blues America, 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 America.
Sergeant Nathaniel Phillips, Soldiers Radio News. Sitting atop Soyo Mountain in Korea is an Army retrans site where soldiers spend a month rotation maintaining communications for all units garrisoned and training on the peninsula. Signal soldier Sergeant Matt Hayes says soldiers can benefit from their time spent on the mountain.
It's a good detail. You learn a lot. These soldiers who may have never touched the radio come up here and answer radios 24 hours a day, so they learn a lot of radio etiquette.
Some U.S. Army Europe soldiers participated in the 99th Nijmegen 4-day march. Staff Sergeant Samuel Torset says it was an honor to be one of nearly 40,000 people marching just over 100 miles to support health and physical fitness.
It was great. We got to walk through the Dutch countryside. They were cheering us on the whole time. It was wonderful to represent my country and U.S. Army Europe on the international stage.
The U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Jeffrey Pyatt, attended the opening ceremony for Exercise Rapid Trident and recognized the efforts that the U.S. soldiers have committed to the success of the host nation.
I'm extremely proud that the United States has been one of multiple international partners that has helped to reinforce and accelerate this process of reform and transformation.
The Mississippi National Guard is training all over the state, and Lieutenant Colonel Chris Salfieri, 112 Cavalry Regiment Commander, says the result will be a fully mission-capable Guard ready to serve the state and country.
The mission here is a mutually beneficial training opportunity to train on and validate our overall unit readiness.
And the Army won the National Trophy for Pistol Team match at the national competition at Camp Perry, Ohio. Read the whole story at Army.mil. And for more news and information, check out iSoldier on our YouTube channel, Soldiers Mag. And that's your Soldiers Radio News.
Keep it here, baby. Blues America. We'll be right back. The following message is brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be with the high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach this problem of reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Your stuff can be a resource for change. Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. Blues America gotta pay the rent, baby. Become a Blues America sponsor and promote your business on the show while helping to keep the blues alive. Your message will reach thousands of potential customers on the radio and online. We have affordable